Welcome to an all-new episode of the 60-second car. We are now in minute 36. My name is Dan, joined as always by my co-host, the co-host with the most boast, Mr. Daniel.
Do you need me to quickly just go through the numbers so we can have ourselves covered again? 36, 37, 38. There we go.
It's diesel time.
60-second car.
And welcome back to the 60-second car. We're in minute 36, and we are we're in a hangover of episodes coming up here. We had our party, we had lots of big moments, and now it's time for the hangover, and it's gonna hurt a little bit. But hello, Dan. How are you this lovely day?
I'm doing very well. Daniel, are we flipping our alias today? Okay, great.
Yes. As long as we don't do the forbidden one, we're good, right?
I think so. I'm doing well. I'm a pretty tired guy. I had a long weekend of a lot of walking. But yeah, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I had a long week of my first week at my new job that has been more mentally exhausting than anything. I didn't do much walking. In fact, I kind of did the opposite, which is part of a problem. It's a different problem going on.
You get one of those like Ramstein walking desk things like the keyboard player has. He's got a treadmill under his keyboard.
Does he really?
Oh yeah, for like 2 hours whenever they play, like the keyboard guy's just going at a steady pace.
He goes, eins, zwei, drei. That's all I remember at the moment.
That's all the German you need.
That's all the German. Katie knows it, but it's yeah. Yeah, he's got that's a pretty good walking pace to that song. It's a full countdown. What is it, Katie? Does it go to 9 or 10? Oh, he has a beat at the end. Okay, it is a good song. I do like the intro to that song. And I mean, but like Rammstein, how many good songs do they have?
They've got the one song they've put out like 40 times. They're the AC/DC of German industrial.
Pretty, yeah, that makes sense. The AC/DC. I don't hate them as much as I hate AC/DC, though, to be honest.
I don't really hate either, but like I say that as a Motorhead fan. Motorhead has like 3 speeds, and the one everybody knows is the 1 speed. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a good speed. But I mean, you know, I really don't like Akadaka, man. They're just, every song is this. I can play the drums for AC/DC, man. It's all the same hi-hat, snare, 4/4 time signature or whatever it is. It's the same time signature. That's all I know. But it is rough. But you listened to all kinds of music this weekend.
It's true. I did. I attended my now 10th Outside Lands, so there's going to be a new poster behind me soon. But yeah, it was a hell of a weekend. The past couple years, we were not able to attend all 3 days. The first time we weren't was sad reasons involving a cat. She's fine now-ish. The other one was I got COVID like an idiot. So this year, we made it through all 3 days, and I saw some crazy stuff. One I knew I was going to see, which was a DJ who is not tied to this franchise in
He's
reality,
related.
but in my heart, he's related to our hero. I saw DJ Diesel, aka Shaquille O'Neal. It was so damn silly.
He's been getting really big as a DJ. Like, people know him as a DJ now. It's kind of crazy.
I gotta say, I don't know why. So he had a 45-minute slot.
I've never heard it, so please.
He had a 45-minute slot on like stage number 2 midday, which I mean that's where like someone who's about to blow up like next year will be. So he came out 15 minutes late after 2 other guys, don't know who they were not introduced as far as I knew, just DJ'd for him. Then he came out and everyone's like, oh my God, it's Shaq. And then he watched one of those guys DJ for another song, which was, he just like stood behind him and was tall. And then he gets on the mic and he just tells people to put their hands up. He just hands up. He just did that for his entire set while like mixing kind of whoop whoop womp 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 dubstep stuff. And it would occasionally just like
the Wacky Circus Gang. Did I just hear that?
Whoop whoop wop wop. Yep. So I'm not someone who's very into like a live DJ or all the subgenre of electronic music, but like
Sure.
to me it all just sounded like dub step breaks from like 10 years ago when Skrillex first got big. There'd be a pause, there'd be like some like non sequitur, oh no, here comes the pain kind of deal. That's Slipknot,
Sure.
whatever. But there were those breaks, and then the beat would drop and people would jump up and down. But
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I feel like half of being a DJ is being super charismatic, and I feel like he has that.
yeah, I honestly expected him to rap because he has a platinum selling album. He's got multiple songs he's been on. He is technically a competent rapper, but he didn't do any of his own songs that I caught. And then it just sort of ended. It was very strange. And I'm glad to say I saw that. I've seen a lot of weird stuff at Outside Lands. That's up there. I've seen Tony Danza live. I saw the artist Peaches, she and herself is an interesting artist. She has a song called "Fuck the Pain Away," which I highly recommend.
You got to do it.
And up there,
Wait, you recommend the song or
both?
the
Why
phrase? Yeah, both. All right, cool.
If you have a bad time, try it. Ibuprofen or doing the nasty, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the other super weird thing I saw this weekend. So I saw the Foo Fighters, who I've seen before. They're incredible live. Dave Grohl is an absolute, like, I want him to be my uncle. He's the coolest dude alive. Oh, sorry. Both cats are now in here. Sidebar. They both went to the vet today for different reasons. One a checkup, one our weekly pop in. And at the request of both different vets, they are now on the list of cats who need to be like under the influence when they come in. So they are both.
I saw Katie Bear's post today.
So they're both high right now, and it's very funny. So they're just lounging in here. Anyway, distraction. So Foo Fighters played, and their new drummer, Josh Freese, he's a guy who's been around for like 40 years. He's played in Nine Inch Nails. He was in Devo. And they went through like a medley of songs he's played on. So they covered Whip It, sort of. It seems like Dave had this idea to make them do these brief covers, but didn't actually learn any of the words.
Covers of his old songs? Okay.
Yeah, song. I don't know if he even played on the recording of Whip It. He's like, he was in Devo. He was in Devo for 20 some odd years, and then they played Whip It because that's the Devo song everybody knows. Then they did March of the Pigs by Nine Inch Nails for like a bar or a chorus or whatever.
I've seen him play that live, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the guy's a madman. Then they go into like this little piano jingle, and it seems familiar. And he's like, all right, when we play the song live, I always try and get somebody on stage who thinks they know this song. And I want someone who knows this fucking song. And they cut to the audience. There's a guy holding a sign that says, I heart Bublé. Because they're going into I Just Haven't Met You by Michael Bublé, which turns out Josh Freese played drums on.
Wow.
So they call this guy on stage. He's like, do you know the words? Do you know the words? And he starts singing the song. And I'm like, this guy's like kind of nailing this.
Oh,
this is weird. And then he like sends him off. He's like, hold on, I want to sing the last line. And Grohl goes, I just haven't fucked you yet. And then he sends him off stage. He's like, yeah, he just flew in from Argentina for that joke. And I went, holy shit, that was Michael Bublé. So they planted Michael Bublé in the audience to come up and sing a verse and a chorus of his own song in the middle of a Foo Fighters show. And then just like, all right, cool, bye.
Wow. Wait, so he was in the audience and nobody noticed?
I wonder if like before that happened, they like had security escort him out there and bring a sign, because it was all very orchestrated. But I think at other shows, it's not. They literally bring a fan on stage to sing it.
Yeah, I've seen those shows. Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. I've seen a drummer play who like was just having the time of his life. I've seen a 12-year-old guitarist play. Yeah, they do it all the time, and they're all super good most of the time.
It's weird how that constantly works, because I think Green Day does that as well. They'll bring up somebody to play like a cover of Operation Ivy or something. Maybe I'm not a punk guy really, but they always know the song. Great for them.
Yeah. I wonder if it's not necessarily staged, but at least talked about before the show.
Maybe.
You know, like oh, this person, we vetted them, right? We vetted them, and they know the song, right? Because, like, yeah, they constantly are not only proficient, but they are pretty good. They usually, like, they do a really good job. But, yeah, that's interesting. So, like, I don't remember, have we talked about the Foo Fighters before they announced their new drummer on this show? I feel like we did, but I don't remember. all I do remember, or I do know that like they were getting ready to tour again, and I was like, they're gonna have to get somebody pretty big to replace their drummer, and I was
You
like,
know, I
that's
think I
pretty
called
good.
this. I think I called this guy. We may have talked about this
Maybe
because when they did the Taylor Hawkins plural, I forget,
Hawkins, yeah,
Hawkins
yeah,
tribute show, they did like a whole thing where they had like a different drummer on every other song or something.
yeah.
And Josh Freese was one of them. And as far as I know, he was just playing in Danny Elfman's band. So
Mm.
like, he's got the time. So when they're like, "We're gonna be announcing our new drummer," we're like, "Oh,
He's just all over the place. Yeah.
it's Josh
Oh,
Freese."
you did,
Absolutely.
yeah, because I think you did mention when we went to see Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
But I mean, I mean, we talked about the guitarist as well, so I don't know. But yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. I think I've seen videos of Taylor's son playing with them, which was super cool. He's very good. I was like, I know he's young and kind of, I think he's almost 18. I think he was 16 when I saw him play. And I was like, what if they just picked him up? Would
Why
that be
not?
crazy?
Yeah, but screw it.
That's
That's what I mean. That's what Led Zeppelin wound up doing. They reunited
Yeah.
with Jason Bonham on drums, and I don't know if he's as good as his dad, but he's
I mean,
outlived him.
it's
So
what Wu-Tang's doing right now too.
I don't know anything about Wu Tang. I don't.
Oh,
I've been-
ODB's son is doing all of ODB's parts on their tour.
Oh, cool.
So I mean that it works. I mean, you know, you get all kinds of that. Maybe it's nepotism. Maybe it's not. I don't know. You've got Ice Cube's son who playing him in the movie.
You know, they weren't like really famous for being a keyboard band, but when Black Sabbath went out in the last few runs and they had keyboard or like rhythm guitar parts, they had, I forget if his name's Adam Wakeman or whatever, but they had the son of
Sounds
the
right.
keyboard player that played with Ozzy in like the 80s. So it was just like, all right, let's just get his kid because dad's off with Yes or something, or dead. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
that
But
makes
still,
sense.
they just hired his son too. So what I'm saying is
Yes,
my dad should have
that's
been a big
keyboard
musician,
band.
so I could have had another band.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, you know, my dad was a pro baseball player. I don't think I got any of that. So
Have you tried?
I did when I was very little. It wasn't very good. So I don't know.
Were you like encouraged to do it, or did you want to do it?
I was encouraged as a young one, and I think that's part of the reason I kind of fell out of baseball. Because my dad, my grandmother, my great grandmother were like, "Oh, you're so good," and I was like, "But I'm not having fun. So what's the point?"
Yeah.
And then I played basketball instead, and
That'll show
that was
'em.
fine. Yeah, yeah.
Got them
There were
hoop
many
dreams.
times where I was like, "I don't even want to do this anymore." But yeah. Now I'm a power lifter, and my dad never did any of that. I'm sticking it to the man. As you know, I'm a heck of punk and super metal and stuff like that.
Yeah, as a punk would say, heck a punk.
Right, exactly. I'm a punk. Speaking of the man,
Yeah.
here in minute 36, I'm referencing because I always forget. A minute 36, we get to meet the man. All of
Turns
the
out,
man.
yeah, all the mans.
We get,
And-
well, yeah, like you said, or you were about to say maybe. It turns out we've already met the man.
Yeah, one of the mans is our man,
It
Brian
is.
Spillner. I don't remember his fake
Spillner.
name.
Brian Spillner. I hate to open this first shot with a gun, but yeah, there it is. We have you know, the one and only Mr. Brian Spillner getting pulled over by not a black and white, which is gotta be. That's gotta be. They're trying to stay undercover. This has got to be alarming, right? Why not just get a black and white to pull him over?
Yeah, for them putting on so much pageantry for pulling him over, not actually using a cop car makes us even more suspicious.
Yeah.
And then this get on the intercom, show me your hands. Very good. Which is very encouraging. But yeah, they put on so much of a show in the streets, and then, you know, they pull the guns, like put them against the thing, and like there's kind of some storytelling going on with the camera angles and how they're showing these two cops and whatnot. Like they're hinting at something, but yeah, Brian puts on a good act here. Like he knows these guys. Also, he
Yeah.
opens the door from the outside. Is that normal?
No, I don't think so. That's a little bit of a red flag as well. because you would think that I think just naturally you'd put your hands out of the window probably.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd probably put one hand back in to open it like you normally would. So that's probably a little weird. Yeah, and then oh, I didn't get this shot, but as he's backing up with his hands up, he's just showing off the guns, man. He's got some guns of his own, man.
Probably before backing up, he's like, "Hold on, give me pump 10. Let me do 10."
Maybe.
All right, get it.
Yeah, absolutely, maybe. He's got no pit stains though, so he must have done it shirtless and then threw the shirt on. Because I'll tell you right now, like maybe it's global warming. I always have pit stains. It's like 24/7.
Yeah, same.
It's just always there.
I stopped using like aluminum deodorant, which wasn't helping anyway. But when I switched off of it, it was just like, oh, okay, this is a floodgates, great. So gross image for all the listeners, just faucets.
Take it in, soak it in, literally. And yeah, it somewhat seems pretty legit. You've got some guy in the background corner here, like looking back as he's walking through, just like,
Oh yeah.
there's a white dude getting arrested. That's weird. Cops don't arrest just perfectly blonde-haired white dudes.
He must
So
be
he's
getting a
probably
prize.
leaving out. He must be. Yeah, they're taking him in to give him a big pat on the back and an award. And then we get the smirk from the
Yeah, that's what I was
sergeant?
talking about.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
in his
sergeant.
lovely beige suit.
Always getting pulled over by dudes in full suits.
Yeah, right. That's a big one.
It's like he's getting pulled over by clearly not these guys, but like the men in black, because he's the men in beige.
To men in beige, balding beige. Okay, as a bald man,
Yes.
at this point, do you just shave it? Should you just shave it off? Would you tell him you just shave it off?
I don't know. The whole horseshoe thing I think could be in my future, like the David Cross look. I
Sure.
don't know. I think some guys honestly can make it work. And when I still
Sure.
had some semblance of the island, I didn't hate it either. I just like during 2020 when I wasn't paying too much to have some other man shave my head, I just shaved my head for myself.
Sure.
And I've
Sure.
just been saving upwards of $15.
Do you
every
go to a
once in a
barber?
while. Not anymore, no, but I used to. I went to a guy who would just put on a number 4 and go over the top and then tell me how he's moving to Florida. And then one day he moved to Florida, so I stopped going out.
Wonder how he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Florida for that.
It's weird to me for people that choose to move to Florida, but I don't know. I like the full bald look. I think it looks very clean. Granted, the hair that he has left is pretty nice. It's not bad.
I'll say the thing is, and this guy is the barber I used to go to. His brother, who he eventually had a falling out with. They were brother barbers, and they got in a fight, and one left. The guy that left told me like 7 years ago. He's like, "Hey, if you ever decide to shave your head, you have a good head shape." And I went, "Thanks." And that's just been rattling around in my brain ever since. Then 2 years ago, I started doing it myself. So like that guy helped me. Maybe this guy doesn't have a good head shape. Maybe he's got divots. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's possible. You do have to have a pretty nice head in order to go full bald. That's true.
And you kind of don't know till it's all gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a Seinfeld story arc of
Oh,
I think it's a man and his nephew have a barbershop and Jerry or George doesn't like the way the uncle does any hair, and he's been going to him for years, and he was out one day and the nephew did it and he was like, "Oh, I like this." And so they were like cheating on the uncle by doing it in like one of their apartments and stuff like that. And it was all kinds of crazy. These like it was implying that barbers are so knowledgeable about their customers' hair that he found a hair follicle in the apartment. He's like, "Where's Jerry?" Something like that. He's around here somewhere. But yeah, that it's show about nothing. But really about everything. But yeah, you gotta have that nice head. So they finally get to this house, which we'll talk about in a second, where this is where we finally reveal that, oh, Brian's all in this. He's very much undercover. He knew about all this. He's got the the knowledge of who these guys are, because he's like, man, did you have to do these so tight? What do you? And he calls him by his first name, I think, or maybe his last name. But he calls him by name.
Yeah. Why do they keep him in the cuffs through the entire car ride? Like, they kind of touch on that by saying, like, Muse likes realism and you never know who's watching, but he could have just, like, kept his hands below the window the entire car ride. Throw him in the back, throw him the keys, let him out, and then he could just talk like normal. But instead, they do the entire show and then take him to a mansion where they kept him handcuffed the entire time. They don't know who's watching, but going this far...
It's got. It's
probably just being a dick.
Be a movie thing. Yeah, it's gotta be a movie thing. Whoever wrote the script was like, we need this line in here to show that this is where we reveal where Brian is a cop and stuff like that, and he already knows what's going on. I can only imagine that that's the explanation, but yeah, I don't know. That is strange. But we walk into this giant mansion, which I believe has been used in other things.
Yeah, I have one thing that was used for, and I read it was in a couple other things. It was in the 2000 film Hanging Up, which I only know of because of this article about the house. There's a line about it being built for Elizabeth Taylor in this movie. That's not true. It was designed by David Fowler, and he made it for his mother. And then they use it in a handful of other movies, but it's a cool roundhouse somewhere.
So I wonder if Universal just owns this house and they just use it. They used it for a little bit. What's interesting, it is a kind of a spaceship, huh? Even inside, it doesn't really feel like a domicile. It just feels like an office in a way. Do I have? Oh, I don't think we get to that yet. Oh, we kind of do. But yeah, he's what does he? Do you have this line? Even the cops in Hollywood are going Hollywood or something like that.
Yeah, even the cops in Hollywood are Hollywood, because brings them out here. What if this was the actual jail cell in Hollywood? Like, they had palatial mansions and they go in these glass things, but then there's just, still people who are being held for no reason. But they're like, why am I up on this hill? It's too nice. I was just drunk in public.
I mean, these are rich people that go on house arrest, right? That's pretty much what they have. I mean, geez. Imagine being rich and being on house arrest. You're just like, it's just a vacation, man. A really nice vacation, too.
I'm not gonna lie, I think being on house arrest would be such a drag. Like, I don't want to commit a crime to actually do it, and also the alternative of being like in a proper jail or prison is definitely worse. But I get so stir crazy at home anyway.
Sure. Yeah,
so
but if you had
like,
a giant house like this.
Oh yeah, I just run around the house all the time.
Yeah, you do your morning runs in this little circle, just in circles.
There'd just be a sweet path in the dirt outside from where I was going around.
Yeah, you've been digging out a trench. I'm making my own moat via jogging.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty nice house. It does feel like it's from the 70s. I noticed there's an outdoor fireplace here that's right in the middle of the circle, or at least goes out into the circle. We've got again, it seems like business bank glass doors here. They just open like normal door, like you would go to a business or a bank or something like that and be there. There's even these spots that act as a walkway. I don't know why this was built this way, but it's a little strange. Everything's circular, even like the chimney here is just a big circle cylinder, which is strange in of itself. And then we walk inside, and I got this frame specifically because we see a ton of, my God, just beautiful photos that they took of all these criminals just doing criminal things.
Of course, this is like the Fast 10 thing where they have all those weird shots. Who took those photos? Like, mugshot, sure, but everything else, who's doing that?
Those are headshots, man. Those are professionally done headshots for a lot of these people.
Maybe it's their actual headshots they audition with.
Maybe, yeah. We've got what looks kind of like a young Dom there. Honestly, okay. I don't know why. You probably don't see it. Maybe you do. Vin Diesel looks like Eminem in that mugshot.
I'm trying to do my handy zoom in trick and it's not working. I see it. Yeah.
he looks like Eminem from that angle for some reason. And then Leon, oh my God, like, is this an Abercrombie cover? Like, what's going on here? Jeez. Also, Oh, that's another picture. Okay. I was like, is this actually from a magazine? And this is like the side cutout. Look at this. Look at this. That's was that Vince putting on the candid pout face? Like, man.
He looks like Oscar Isaac in that shot.
These guys are sexy. Obviously, what's also weird is we've got several shots of Mia, who really hasn't been involved with a whole lot, I think, other than, I guess, running the business. Maybe that's what they're worried about.
Those are for Brian. He's like, hey, we need to keep an eye on the sister too. Don't ask why.
Yeah,
She might
exactly.
be she might be cooking the books at the diner, market,
Yeah. Whatever it is. And are these Macintoshes?
Big grays. I miss those.
Were these used in 2001?
I certainly had one in 2001.
Okay.
So, but
I
like
couldn't
we got a
remember.
computer late anyway, and then we had
Yeah.
that tower with the giant gray fucking tube monitor for too long. So maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. They've got their folding tables and folding chairs. Man, they don't care about their officers, man.
They rented the mansion, but didn't have money for proper desks.
No, not like look at this. This is like you set this up in 20 minutes, and then you put the computers in there, and you're good to go. These are metal folding chairs. That's like
It's not ergonomic, that's for sure.
that's a hostile work environment.
Yeah.
That's horrible. We got another cylindrical fireplace or conical fireplace and a. This is a thing in LA. I don't know if it's a thing for rich people in other parts of the country. I don't think it is. I think this is very much a California thing. Just giant windows. The hugest windows. Just looks out towards the view of the Los Angeles skyline, which at this point, maybe I don't know in 2001, but at this point, you just kind of see a faint picture of the skyline because most of it's covered in smog or gross air. So it's just, it's gross. But yeah, is this the last one I have? No, we start getting introduced and we see our FBI. Oh wait, so I think these are all LAPD. Maybe some of them are FBI. We obviously know our main guy here is FBI. Do you have his name by the chance?
Which one? Circle him again?
FBI main dude.
Agent Bilkins.
Agent Bilkins. Oh, I should say these 3 minutes for this week, we're getting introduced to a bunch of Too Fast, Too Furious characters.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of these guys carry over to the next movie, except for what was his name? Muse.
Yeah, I don't have anything about Muse. I have some stuff about the other two guys, but
I feel like they replaced him with somebody else. But
Jason
yeah,
Mewes?
if only. Oh my God, Jay
Snoochie
and Silent Bob come and save the day, save Dom from a crashing car somewhere in Fast 10 2. Can you imagine?
it's the fucking van from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and just opens the door. Snoochie Boochies. Just Kevin Smith with the big hands. Family.
And then the
that's Silent Bob's only word in the movie. He just goes, family.
Family. Yeah. And man, he's lost a lot of weight. He doesn't look the same anymore. I don't know if has he been in a movie recently?
Probably one of his own View Askew things.
Maybe.
I think there was a Clerks 3, right?
Clerks 3 is coming soon. I think Mallrats 2 has been made or something like that.
Sure.
He's got a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, we've are not fully introduced to everybody, but we were introducing ourselves, or the movie's introducing us to Too Fast, Too Furious characters, and we are now in deep with at this moment we don't know exactly what Brian's doing. We just know that he knows he's supposed to. These are his people. Well, not in his heart, but on the badge.
I guess we can talk about that more in a future minute. You say not in his heart, but like he has me second guessing my whole thing. Like I know how this movie turns out, but like over this next handful of minutes, like I kind of believe him as a cop too.
I don't. We can definitely talk about that.
All right.
I think what you're talking about is still real here. Or what your original thought is still real here. But yeah, I mean, this is we're getting into the little bit of the hangover, the slowdown, but very, very important minutes to the Fast and the Furious from 2001. So, do you have any other notes before we go to the next minute?
I do not. My last thing was about the house, so we've already
Yeah.
gone past that.
So hopefully you all enjoyed our music talk at the beginning. I know these episodes are going to be a little bit tough. There's some stuff to talk about in the next few minutes, so stay tuned and watch for when those release. But we've covered minute 36 of the Fast and the Furious, which has been absolutely an amazing ride thus far, and we're going to get into more absolutely. Thank you all so much for commenting, family. And we've been seeing it. I know you're listening, and I know you listen all the way through because you heard us talk about you. Yeah, thanks for commenting, family, over on YouTube. Thanks for listening to us on your favorite podcasting apps or wherever you do it from. Thanks for all the support. You guys have been killing it, and we really appreciate it. We get a bunch of listens every single episode drop. It's been amazing, and yeah, keep doing that. So go over to danotage.tv/60secondcar and check out all our links. Check out all the sources you can find the podcast if you're not listening to the one you might want to listen to now. And with that, we'll see you all next time.
Family.